So welcome back, everyone. We're now at part 3, how to fill in the log sheets that again are required by Local Law 77 for all our on-site testing. Along with your MPP came this sheet of paper with the log sheets. We've just updated this. You'll be receiving the updated one in the next few days. And this log sheet gives you all the things you need to know: where you take the test from, at what time you take it during the day, how long the water is going to circulate before you take it, so on and so forth. It notes, as I told you before, the water chemistries are performed 3 times a week and any corrective action needed. It tells you about the bacteria dip slides, and again, to be performed weekly and any correction needed. And lastly, the visual inspection and any corrective action needed. And the key down here, A, B, C, or D, is where you note that corrective action. So when we go right to the log sheet itself, today we did a test, so today we're going to call it 3/17. Make sure you put the full date. Don't just put 3/17. They'll think you mean March 2017. It has to be a specific month, day, and year. Before we get a pH of 6.0, so I'd record that 6.0 in there. I'm recording it. There's nothing to do about it. Conductivity I received today was 1,000. I would note that in there as well. The free chlorine today was like yesterday at 2.5. And the temperature I got today was 67 degrees Fahrenheit. There's no corrective action to take here except on free chlorine. If that number is below 0.5 to 1, then I want to note I took a corrective action of adding more, which is corrective action B, by the way. I added more sodium hypochlorite as per the instruction of the OCS technician. If everything was good, there's nothing to note other than A, which means everything was okay. The second test we did was the dip slide. We dipped it in. We measured it after 24 hours. In this case, we got 10 to the 3rd colonies, which was great. We took that test at 2 p.m. And then the test was taken by Scott, which is me. And in this case, there was no corrective action needed. So again, that's all filled in correct day by day. You don't have to do the bacteria dip slide, obviously, every day. It's once a week. So these will be filled in for every 3 of these. I'm going to have one other day down here during the course of that week. Lastly is the cooling tower visual inspection checklist. You need to go up to the cooling tower itself once a week and record that everything's okay or it's not okay. Item 1 is that you inspected the tower for organic materials, biofilm, algae, if it's either contaminated or not. Item 2 is the general condition of the tower. How's the packing material, any drift eliminators? Item 3 is that the makeup to the tower is functioning well. You're getting that float valve working properly. Item 4 is that the control system, whether it be a timer or a conductivity controller, is plugged in and there are no alarm lights on it. Any alarm lights, of course, you'd call us here at OCS Chemical Engineering. And lastly, that the dosing equipment, or what they mean to say is the pumping equipment, is working. The pumps are actually plugged in and operating. Once you inspected those things, you then record the results here. So you'd put the date in again here, 3/17/2017. If you went up to the tower and there were no contaminants, it all looked clean, you'd say they were absent. That was good. There's no corrective action to do because it was good. If there was a problem, you'd say you added some oxidizing biocide to help kill off the algae or whatever your OCS technician advised you on. Item 2 is the general condition of the tower basin, the drift eliminators. Again, is it good or bad? If it's acceptable, you check that. If it's not, then you're noting what needed to be repaired. The third item was that you checked the water makeup into the tower. Again, it's either working or not. If it's acceptable, you check acceptable. If you have to correct it, then you want to note that you told the property manager and the owner about the issue. The fourth item is the functioning of the control system. As long as it's plugged in and no alarm lights. Even with alarm lights, sometimes it's low flow, that's okay, but you want to make sure it's operating. Acceptable, or you advised us because you took a corrective action. And lastly, that the pumping equipment, the pumps themselves are pumping. These are the chemical feed pumps, not the circulation pumps to your system. As long as they're up and plugged in and running and powered, acceptable. With this all filled in, you are now fully compliant in the recording information you have to have on site for an inspection. As always, if there are any questions on any of this, please call us here at OCS Chemical Engineering. Thank you.